This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a late night's wrestling news update. I am going to be heading off to Toronto in a few hours for an acting job, so I'll be pulling an all-nighter tonight, and I'll be there for a couple of days. But let me jump into the news with Cody Rhodes being out with the torn pec. Apparently, his surgery is actually going to take place Wednesday, according to WWE. And according to the Wrestling Observer, he could be out for 6 months or so. So they announced on Raw tonight. By the way, they also did an angle where Seth Rollins further injured Cody because, God forbid, we haven't seen enough of this boring Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes feud where Cody beats him every single week, multiple times a week, and yet we're still supposed to care about a guy that we know is never going to beat Cody and can't even beat a short, fat fan because Cody is aiming for the title. But anyways, I don't want to digress, but yeah, they've announced that John Cena is going to be returning at the last Raw of the month because they're going to have an issue here with star power. They had said Roman Reigns was going to work less, but he has been added to some house shows this summer, and now without Cody Rhodes, that's even less star power. So sorry to hear that. By the way, Tank Abbott announced on this podcast yesterday that he is suing Mercedes and Fletcher Jones. And I did post that video up as an individual clip for him. He's really upset with them. And by the way, speaking of pec tears, since I love putting myself over, this is how I tore my pec last October.
Trying to get people out of the way. Oh my God.
My pec tore as I was going over the guardrails. You can watch.
Trying to get people out of the way. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we said it was from Jenny Santana, but it actually happened before that. I never had surgery. I've had 2 stem cell injections, getting a third later this month, thanks to the good people at Prodigy Stem Cells. And it's been a slow recovery. My bench is over 300 pounds again, finally. But it's definitely going to be a slow recovery for Cody Rhodes too, although he will be taken care of, obviously, by the very best of the best surgeons. So that's the advantage of being in WWE. By the way, I think that match against Scorpio, I also got a severe concussion in that match. And I truly think that may have been the most injured I ever got in a single wrestling match, between the head injury and the torn pec. Because I did go head first onto the concrete seconds ago before I got thrown over the barricades because I was doing a dive, and for whatever reason, the catch wasn't there, and that's the last time you'll ever see me do a dive. Knock on wood. Who knows? I might change my mind when I'm in the ring, but I had a really bad concussion in that match too. I didn't even remember parts of it because I remember I kissed Jenny Santana in that match, and we had planned the kiss. And I think I told her when we got to the back, did we even do that kiss spot? And then she reminded me, yes, we did. Which, by the way, Jenny Santana is the GM of the Ultimate Women of Wrestling wrestling company that I've posted their first event of on this channel. And I wish them luck. They got some good talent there. Hope to see some of the girls in that company in Great North Wrestling. Crying says it was a great match between Bloodhunter and Scorpio. That match actually has about 300,000 hits on Facebook. Polar Burr was there. I'm not allowed to say what TV show I'm going to be on, but it's the biggest TV show I've ever been on. I can say that. But who knows if they'll even use my scene. But I'm really happy about it. Jason, I had a busy day today. Got a chest workout in. I didn't run because it's been raining all day and I got to stay up all night. So I'm going to take the day off from running. So I'm going to do a bit more editing. I'm going to re-release, by the way. I recently re-listened to the interview I did with Gorgeous George, Macho Man's ex-girlfriend, who was a former WCW valet. I'm going to re-release that interview because it was one of the first interviews I ever did. And my God, did she ever unleash a lot of dirt in that interview. And I think anyone that hasn't heard it and is a Macho Man fan will be very interested to hear some of the stuff that she says in that interview. So, by the way, we're heading towards 325,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up. Somebody's saying hello in Oriental writing. I won't pretend to know what type of writing that is, but I appreciate it. We had someone check in the other day from Argentina, Finland. The Hannibal TV is truly worldwide. The greatest shoot interviewer on the internet is none other than myself, Hannibal. And I am also putting out a movie that we're putting into production this summer called Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage, that I'm really excited about. And I'm looking forward to that. Will Cody be world champion? Probably. But I don't know if they're going to take the belt off Roman Reigns before he wrestles The Rock, because there's no reason to take the belt off of him before he wrestles The Rock. So that is my opinion on that for now. Although Cody is probably going to lose a lot of momentum being out with this torn chest, but they'll probably maybe keep him around in a non-wrestling capacity. Who knows? I remember back in the day, I think it was Ray Rougeau. He broke a leg or something. And because in those days you didn't have Gary, and I'm not saying this was better, but imagine how bad it sucked when Ray Rougeau broke his leg. He still had to do all the travel, and he would just like be on crutches in the corner of Jacques at the house shows and stuff. He was still doing everything, just not wrestling, so he could still get paid with the injury. Just imagine how brutal that would be, traveling the schedule they used to travel with a broken leg just so you get paid. And that was during the time where Dynamite Kid slapped Jacques from behind as there's an earthquake going on somewhere in my house. But yeah, times have changed. When is my next live interview with a wrestler? Don't know. I prefer doing them over the internet, and I have no real urge to go to any wrestling events or conventions anytime soon. I don't like to travel, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd rather drive than fly places. And well, I will be traveling to Allentown, Pennsylvania soon, where I'll be doing live interviews with actors and actresses that are going to be in my movie, Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage. The greatest erotic wrestling vampire movie ever made, without question. And I'm sure you're all going to agree with me when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. Have a great night. Thank you for watching The Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video. Then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at The Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Hannibal TV.